You look great and you seem like you're in good form. Are you kind of in a good place, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I know that I'm only one of millions and millions and millions of people in the world that are just like me.
For anyone who's watching who doesn't know, what is bipolar disorder?
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder where people have typically two phases. It's the cyclical pattern of mood changes marked by depression, which is the low phase where you're feeling sad, low energy, and the manic phase, which is usually high energy. People usually feel well, but that's also a myth. You can actually feel manic and still feel depressed or sad at the same time.
Aggressive.
What do I do? When I'm angry, I write angry emails. I don't stand screaming, shouting at people.
Sometimes you are able to take control of those, and sometimes
you're not.
you cannot.
How do I know what I'm allowed to feel?
Everybody with any mental health illness, you are entitled to whatever you're feeling. You don't have to justify it. Why do I feel this way? We want to first learn to deal with it, be able to seek help, and be able to not worry about carrying that burden of what others would think.
And policing your emotions.
Policing your own thoughts, policing your own behavior.
We all live in a society where, you know, if people think anything like that about you, they're going to treat you badly, you know, which is terrible.
I was able to escape my country and escape stigma, and escape all the things that meant it okay for everybody to use the fact that I suffer from 3 mental illnesses.
You said about being you were mistakenly diagnosed.
Yeah, I was mistakenly diagnosed. I went to the doctor feeling quite depressed. I said, it's not me, I don't normally feel like that. And he rang up the local psychiatric hospital in front of me. I never met this doctor before. He rings a guy in the psychiatric hospital, says, I've got Sinead O'Connor here in my office. The guy on the phone goes, oh, well, from what I read about her in the paper, I'd say she has bipolar disorder. So that's actually how it came about.
Sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it can take 10 years to diagnose somebody with bipolar disorder. Mental health illness does affect women slightly more in certain stages because of their hormonal cycle.
A lot of people will say, you know, you don't seem like you have bipolar disorder because, you know, of the ways in which that I function. But before I had music, especially in my adolescence, I was a very different person. For a long time, I had really struggled with my mania. It was the worst part of me. I considered that girl, the manic one, I considered her irresponsible and untrustworthy, unreliable. She spoke too loud. She had a million ideas and couldn't get any of them done. And in the process of making this album, I had to kind of make peace with this manic version of myself and sit down and think, you know, when I'm manic, that's also when I make my best art. It's the version of me that has given me everything that I have. The media is very celebratory of mental illness when they're getting something out of it. But then if it takes something from them, if I can't do a show, then it becomes weaponized. I mean, I worry about the way my mental illness will affect situations that are completely unrelated to it. I've had like a sore throat and I've wanted to cancel a concert. And then I get that fear of, well, everyone's just gonna say, well, she's crazy. She's probably having a breakdown, or she's unreliable, or she's whatever.
Do you feel that translated into your own life as well?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are perceived mistakenly or otherwise to have a mental illness, people use that as something with which to kick the shit out of you. And the only time I found it difficult being bullied was when that was the thing that was being used to bully me. It doesn't stay on the page or the screen. It actually translates down into how people treat you in your life.
That's what happens when people think that you have a mental illness. They use it as something to invalidate every fucking thing you think, do, say, and feel.
Crazy bitch, basically.
Yeah.
What can people who don't have mental illnesses do to help?
It's acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. That's really what it is. It's just first to be able to accept that somebody around them can have mental illness. The other acceptance is accept that they will need help. The third acceptance would be that this will recur. And that acceptance that it's not going away takes the longest.
Achieving mental health that doesn't happen. It's a perpetual journey. It takes constant care and attention and energy. And sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad.
What makes each one of these journeys so unique is the people around them.
I just can't understand how a person can be left so alone.
There's nothing more devastating than putting yourself out there and wanting to connect with someone and then them not accepting you for who you are.
I'm doing my fucking best in the world like everybody else.
It's the fact that everybody else in your life seems to think they have license to treat you like you're completely invalid. Everything you think, do, say, feel. Do you know what I mean? I'm a tough cookie. Even though I might be vulnerable, I might get hurt by things, I get back up again.
And I want everyone to see what it's like. It's why I'm making this video.
I think they might censor some bits of it if you don't take it easy.
Yeah.
Eliminating the stigma around mental health, it kind of spiderwebs into this whole other social conversation about letting people be who they are. That was the point of all of this. Give people a place to start the conversation.